back, everybody, to the Glory Hunter series, episode number 3. And we are roaming. Obviously, at the end of the last episode, I had a really successful time at Sporting Lisbon. Sporting Club de Portugal, to be correct. Where obviously I had won the Premier League, I'd won the Taça de Portugal, so I ticked those ones off, no problem at all. And it left me with some options in the summer, because as you see, I did resign straight away after, and there were some jobs available. Liverpool's was available, Newcastle was available, there was a couple of others as well. If I go into the job centre, let's have a look at manager jobs. Obviously nothing here now, but at that point in time, Liverpool's, Newcastle's, and there was a couple of others in there, and I thought, okay, I could go for them, and I couldn't get the job. They offered me, I had a couple of interviews, but they went with other managers, which, okay, it's fair enough. And then, I hate to admit it, but I was kind of getting a little bit desperate. I looked at Roma, and I looked at what they had in their squad, and I looked at their fixtures, and they weren't in Europe, but they had a fairly decent squad. Needed a bit of improving here and there, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to jump in, but I forgot to check one simple thing, and that was their financials. Oh, their financials are bad. If we go onto their screen here and we have a look at the finances here, it is horrendous. The overall balance is not looking good. The profit and loss, the sustainability, there's debt all over the place, and there's barely any transfer budget. So it meant that this season that I came in, transfer-wise, yeah, I was pushing it a little bit with what I could bring in. So I had to do a little bit of wheeling and dealing. I did sell Dybala to Benfica because he didn't want to stick around because we weren't in Europe and he was letting his contract run down, so I couldn't let that happen. So I brought in 36 million, which I was quite happy with. But I also had the same issue with Leandro Paredes, so he's gone as well. And then there was a couple of other players that wanted to leave and just like disappear, so I was like, okay, fine, not a problem. So I think I've spent it reasonably wisely. So starting at the top, I wanted the new goalkeeper. The goalkeeper at the moment, or was Rui Patricio, 37 years old, good goalkeeper, but not my starting number one anymore. So I went for Elia Capril, 10 million from Napoli. Quite happy with that. I needed a bit more left back cover. Sergio Gomez was transfer listed by Man City, so I brought him in for 4.5. Then I wanted another striker because stupidly in this first season they decided to let Tammy Abraham go on loan when they had no other strikers. So yeah, that was great decision making. So I brought in Martin Satriano from Inter Milan. I brought in a right back cover, Benno Schmitz, to cover that area because it needed a bit more fleshing out. Thiago Giallo was not one of my signings. He got brought in before I became the manager, but not bad centre back at all. And the other one I did bring in was Giovanni Lo Celso because I wanted just a little bit more of an attacking option than anything else. And yeah, that seems to be working out all right. And yeah, I mean, I'm 71 million in sales, only 22 million spent. That just shows you what we've got. But tactically, I've gone with what I was winning with at Sporting Lisbon. So they've got, the squad have got to adapt to my playing style. I'm hoping this is going to work. Really hoping this is going to work because I need a really successful first season where I could either get them into Europe or at least win the domestic cup first. Then I can focus on the league. Can I make this side a league winning side within 2 to 3 seasons? I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be difficult. There are some really, really good players in the side, like Eduardo Bove. He's a fantastic DM. Really, really good DM. But we are relying a lot on the goals of Belotti and Satriano and Kwame. Are they good enough to cope with it? I don't know. Let's go and simulate the season and go and find out. Well. We had a fairly decent season, all things considered. Yeah, we finished 4th in the Champions League spot, which we finished ahead of Napoli by a point. And you know what? I'm actually really upset by that. I would have really preferred Napoli pipping us and us finishing the Europa League. I really would have. But it is what it is. The Champions League money will help the club financially more than anything else. I mean, the club vision for next season was be competitive in the Champions League, probably and qualify for the Europa League. It was the same this season, but as you can also see, there is a takeover in progress. So things, it's all just gone really messy, and yeah, I'll come back to that in a second. But overall, Pellegrini with 10 assists in the league, Belotti with 17 goals. So yeah, he's come up trumps. I'm quite happy with that. I'm 32 years old now, so he's on the downside of his career. But it's the most he scored for Roma, and he's done really, really well. I'm quite happy with that. Squad-wise, if we have a look at the goals overall, Kwame, Cristante, Pellegrini, 9, 8, 10 assists. It's not the best. It's not the best, I must admit. But as first seasons go, I think Capriel, let's have a little look at him. He's improved immensely. He's done really, really well. He's a cracking goalkeeper. Yeah, I think overall, I mean, there's going to be a lot of changes in the summertime again if I stick around. Let's check the other competitions though before we do. Knocked out in the quarterfinal by Brianza. So I don't want these seasons to be turning into constant rebuilds realistically, but missing out on the domestic cup and missing out on the Europa League, which I personally think Roma would stand a lot better chance of winning than winning the Champions League. I've now got to think, do I go and have a look at the job centre? Let's go and have a quick look at the managers that may be Liverpool are free again. That's pretty interesting. But nothing else. I mean, Liverpool. Let's have a look at the managers, right? There you go. They picked Eddie Howe over me. I'm not happy with that at all. And he won the FA Cup and he still got sacked because they finished 8th in the Prem. What am I going to do? I do not know. I really do not know at this point in time. Do I stick around or do I move on? It's a tough one. There isn't too many options there at the moment, to be fair. So it may be a case I'm sticking around for another season to see what I can do. Financially wise, it's abysmal. So it's going to be a lot of wheeling and dealing again, which doesn't help with team cohesion and doesn't help with trying to win things as well. I'm trying to get these trophies ticked off. Well, join me in episode 4 to find out what happens. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like on the video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with all the content that's coming on. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll catch you later. Ta-ra.